by Carla Bristol and student representatives Krista Jenkins, Jade Keomek, Elias Ross, and Aiymere Sanchez. And we welcome you all up to present at this time. Welcome.
Thank you. Good afternoon. And thank you so much for the opportunity. Thank you, Senator Roussan. Thank you, Senator Roussan, for continuing to check in on us and come by the farm and meet with our teens. We appreciate and value the work you do. And we're thankful this is our second opportunity to come here to Tallahassee and present to this committee about the work we do. So this is exciting for us. We were asked last week, and I'm so happy to be accompanied by some amazing youth, not just some that work with us today, but we have one that worked with us previously. And we also have impact statement from a youth that comes to us for youth arbitration hours. And so that's part of what we want to talk about today. But I'd like to first talk about how did we get here? What is the youth farm? Why did it start? And what was at the onset to address nutrition insecurity, because a grocery store 10 blocks from where the farm is located today closed. Prior to that, less than 4 years prior, another grocery store was there that closed as well. So as the community met and began to discuss how do we address this, ultimately what emerged was this idea that we would allow a youth-led initiative. I'm extremely youthful, but I am not the youth at the youth farm. They're right here with me. So this trust that we have in the brilliance of our young people in St. Petersburg was phenomenal. It created a program that we're extremely proud of and that you'll hear so much about today. The land that we're using is land that's owned by the city of St. Petersburg. This is 6 consecutive lots, less than 1 acre, 0.83 acres of land. So it's small, but it's robust in the impact to the community and the offerings that we provide. So it really demonstrates that you don't have to have the 10-acre farm. You really could do it on a smaller scale and impact teens, not the ones that work there only, which are high school age teens, age 14 to 18, in varying high school. So what they have in common is they all live in the same geographic area. So we're funded through the South St. Petersburg Community Redevelopment dollars through the TIF funding. That's primarily how we're funded. And trying to see what else I want to cover on this slide. Initially, we did receive some dollars from a local foundation that assisted in, but year 1 only. And we're now 6.5 years in, soon to celebrate 7 years in completion in June. I'm going to turn it over at this time to our teens to begin talking about, like, what do we do, who are we, and what do we do for young people on a daily basis. So I'll turn it over to Elias.
Hello and good afternoon. My name is Elias Ross. I am an ambassador. I volunteered for 2 years, and I volunteered for 2 years before I was able to work there, and I will share. I will be talking about some of the many skills that we learn at the youth farm. And one of the main ones that I personally believe is necessary for my generation is leadership and character development. The way we learn this at the youth farm is by going to groups. We go into groups, and each week we do a rotation to switch up so that all the ambassadors, including myself, get a chance to know what it feels like to be a leader and what it is to be a leader. And at the end of the month, we all gather around and discuss the ups and downs and to better our best at being good leaders. Another thing is financial literacy. And we have somebody who works at Raymond James, who comes bi-weekly to the youth farm and teaches us about finances and teaches us how to properly save, what to do to be aware of scammers, con artists, and many more financial things. And because of his help, we have 5 ambassadors. One of them being here, we have five ambassadors that open Roth IRA accounts that most teens in the U.S. usually wouldn't do naturally, and also career readiness. Everything we do at the St. P. Youth Farm is career readiness, from being on time, following work rules, getting along with coworkers, and so forth and so on. And lastly, the main reason why we opened the youth farm is civic engagement, which we learn to work with the community, to be involved and care for the community and grow fresh, good, original food for the community. And with this, I'd like to turn it over to Jade Keomek.
Hi, if you see me looking down, I do have it typed out because I want to respect our time, especially your guys' time. And my name is Jade Keomek, and like my fellow ambassador said, I'm a youth farm ambassador here at the farm, and I live 5 minutes away from the farm. And I actually, honestly, did not know where to look for a job. I had no clue that this was even an opportunity or an option to a lot of the youth around us. And including myself, I thought this was an amazing opportunity for my brother because he himself had seen that I was becoming an amazing person with the character development that they let you guys have, because they let you grow into your own person and express yourself and make your words feel seen. And so along with that, it's not just the youth farm for no reason. We also are constantly building our soil with the plants that we are putting into the soil. And the way that we build our soil is with our composting initiative, which Miss Carla will touch on a little bit more later on. But with that, we make almost everything at the farm through the farm. So with that, our fertilizer comes from our aquaponic system, which is made through the tilapia waste. So we use that to fertilize all of our plants at the farm. And with those two amazing factors, soil and water, which fertilizer, not water, but with those two factors, you're able to make very profitable plants for the community and to help with the insecurity going on. And with that, I would like to move it over to our other ambassador, Krista.
Thank you, Jade. Hi and good afternoon. My name is Krista Jenkins. A little bit about me. I didn't really know about the St. Pete Youth Farm. I moved to Texas for about 2 years, came back to the hometown, and was looking for a job just to further develop my work skills. So I've been an ambassador for about 3 years now, and I want to talk to you guys a little bit about the mental and wellness that we have going on the farm. Things like Mental Health Monday and Mindful Movement, which includes yoga and different kind of breathing skills, we offer for the teens at the farm, not only the teens that work there, but also the teams that come through for their like community hours or for volunteer hours or anything like that. We don't focus on just the nutrition of the body, but the nutrition of the mind too. A lot of teens suffer with depression, suicide, all those things. So we want to make sure we're in the right mindset and not only focusing on food cultivation, but also cultivation of the mind. Nutrition that we have around the farm is all the different types of plants, the fruit-bearing and herb-bearing plants that we grow around the farm. We use to make things at the farm, like our collard green pesto. We also have multiple workshops, like bread making workshop, butter making workshops, moringa tea making workshops, where we focus on that body nutrition and where it's not offered only to the teens that work at the farm, but also the community. Our environmental health that we strive for significance at the farm is not only the plants that we grow provide food, but it also provides clean, purified air. The oxygen that the plants produce also makes the air like more easy to breathe in than certain areas that are in St. Petersburg. Now I'll turn this over back to Elias.
Looking at this slide, I cannot move past it without acknowledging that the young person in the corner photo of this slide is the very same young man standing next to me. So we do grow people. Go ahead, Elias.
Oh, that's right. Hello again, and I will be talking about workforce development, as I already said, about the career readiness, I listed a few of the many skills that help us prepare for the real out world, and well, it's still a job, but higher up jobs. But thanks to help and talk that we've opened up more spots for more teens to work there, and we've opened up more spots for teens to work there, and we have many people of influence upon us, such as Senator Roussan. I want to thank you again for giving us this opportunity. Thank you all, but still, and with that, I hand it over to Jade Keomek again.
Hi, I'm here to touch on our education, and with that, we have the community benefits of our education. So it's not just for us. Again, we always love to share with our community, and like how Krista said, we have our bread and our butter and our moringa tea. But alongside that, we've also had many gardens. So what that was a box with different fruits and vegetables, like different plants you could put in there and take home. So alongside with that, we also have health and wellness programming. And what that looks like is also having mental health Mondays available for any of the older people in the community or just anyone that wants to come to the youth farm. Not any time, but we have a specific time, but for the community to connect to each other. And with that, we've also had a partnership with FSU, St. Petersburg College, and Eckerd. And with that, I want to move it along with Krista.
She definitely meant USF.
USF, my bad. My bad.
The environmental benefits that we offer at the farm, like Jade mentioned, our community compost initiative, where the community can come to the farm and they're provided a bucket to where they can give the waste from their home to us so we can continue to cultivate our soil that we use 100% on the farm, which is used to grow all the different types of plants and trees on the farm. We strive to keep the space a green safe space where not only infants, children, teens, elderly could be able to strive there and visit there without feeling excluded and more included. The neighborhood impact that not only our farm, but any farms or gardens have on the area is it reduces crime by 30%. The studies and numbers have shown just the impact of having fresh fruit or fresh vegetables or fresh plants grown in your area or in your community reduces a lot of bad impacts.
Thank you, fellow ambassadors. My name is Aiymere, and I am 19 years old. Please excuse me for looking down. I'm only doing that to read what I have prepared because I value your time and my time as well. I was an active ambassador when I was 14 through 16 years old, and still to this day I'm engaged with the youth farm. With them, I was able to put on my first ever upcycling fashion show at 18 years old. That was a part of the Earth Day event that they put on annually there. This is a part of the youth cultivation in which they have hired over 160 youth. They also do community service hours for juvenile arbitrations. At the farm, they created 100% of the soil through compost, as well as creating fertilizer with aquaponic tilapia farming. The community expansion is extensive, with over 300 plus farm events and over 80 plus held annually, including 100 community mental health workshops held on Mondays and for youth and adults. More than 400 tons of waste and food is diverted from our own community from donations as well as composting. We have also donated over 500 fruit trees and 10,000 seeds. And all of that is nice, but nothing really means anything without true achievement, and the true achievement comes from the real community and trust that is being curated at the youth farm by Ms. Carla. A quote that will directly represent what I'm saying is right here, if you guys can see. I genuinely thought I was going to continue my life of crime. I came to you very broken and lost. To be honest, I don't think I would be here if it wasn't for you and the community you have built. More positions are needed, as I know there are people in far deeper than I was. This is somebody else who was also, as she said earlier, a part of the jail arbitration systems. And, it speaks volumes to say that she's created this community that people feel safe in and can truly feel like there's somebody who cares about them in the community.
Don't shortchange yourself. We created it. So what's next? I feel like we do so much already. Yes, this bread is baked at the farm. We have a commercial bread oven at the farm, and we do teach bread making workshops. We definitely would like to see an expansion, providing opportunities for more youth. Because our funding comes through the TIF dollars, the teens that we are able to hire live within a certain geographic area. They're teens that come from all over to volunteer, and just being able to offer them a job, if even for a short period of time, I believe will transform their trajectory. The young man that wrote that quote, I spent many sleepless nights thinking about how to find him a job, talking to every single person. He now works in a restaurant, but day one, if we had openings, he would want to come to be in the environment. We naturally need bees as a farm, and chickens. So these are some of the things that we're looking forward to this year. I've just received a quote for a food truck. We want to open up the Youth Farm Cafe. We'd love to see a food pharmacy at the farm because we're already doing so much of the work. But I visited one in Hillsborough that's tied to a hospital, and it's phenomenal to see that they're doing over 200 plus referrals every single week. And 60% of those people actually come in to help prevent what ailments such as high blood pressure. So if they're pre-diabetic, hypertension, etc., and addressing it through nutrition. Definitely the Community Bread Project, where we would bake bread and people could pick it up, or we taught them how to make and bake bread. They could make the bread, we'll bake it for them. Naturally, we want a cookbook, and this year we're celebrating 7 years of doing impactful work. I'd like to, here's our contact information. Yes, stpuffarm.org. So we have a website. We're on all the social media platforms like Instagram, Facebook, etc., and through our website. Here's our January calendar. So when we talk about those 80 plus events, this is how it comes to be. Last night at the farm was our Tai Chi workshop with a 9th degree black belt. So any member of the community, and all of them free to the community. Monday we'll be doing our day of service for MLK Day. I think it's like our 6th annual MLK Day of Service. So without further ado, if you have any questions, we'd love to hear them. But on behalf of the City of St. Petersburg, the Parks and Rec Department, and certainly the youth ambassadors that are not here and are back home in St. Petersburg, thank you again for the opportunity. And we're all open for your questions.
Well, thank you very much, Ms. Bristol. Members, are there any questions or any comments? Senator Bernard.
Thank you very much, Mr. Chair. Ms. Bristol, thank you very much for being here. It's great to learn about the work that you're doing, in St. Pete. I'm like, I want to copy it for Palm Beach County.
Let's do it.
Senator Roussan's always in Palm Beach County, so so I'd love for us to even take a look at that in Palm Beach County. But I appreciate hearing from your ambassadors and to tell the story in terms of the work that you're doing. I guess my question is is there an opportunity to eventually create like a culinary kitchen?
Mm-hmm. Yes. So the culinary, what we've learned is the most economic way to do that is through the food truck. So that's why so I could spend $50,000, $48,000, it's right there, it's under 50, for a 16-foot food truck that could produce things like the tea packets we do currently, make the moringa teas, and train our teens. I myself just recently got, before the end of last year, the Serve Safe certification for managers so that every teen at the farm could become Serve Safe certified for food handling, so that we can not just cook food, but provide this healthy cafe lifestyle and train others, not just the teens that work there. On the way here, one of the things I said was, we can grow all the greens in the world. We can give everything to everyone. If you still put certain things in your food, you're still going to be in the same condition. So for us, it's not just about growing the food, it's helping you learn how to prepare it. Typically, every meal we cook at the farm is a vegetarian meal, because I became a vegetarian 3 years ago, but most people don't even realize the meat is missing. right? So cooking flavorful food. So yes, that's the path. Also at the Enoch Davis Center, which is adjacent to the farm, there's a plan to put a state-of-the-art culinary kitchen when that's fully developed, but the plan is in place for it.
One more.
Go ahead.
In regards to the work that you're doing, what's the working relationship with, like, potentially your school district, or not FSU, USF?
So USF was instrumental in helping us with a grant from the Ford Foundation, and that created the greenhouse space that's at the farm currently. Young people from USF volunteer at the farm. St. Pete College will be there on Friday to help with their day of service, or earlier than our day of service on Monday. Eckerd College has me come out to speak. So there is a reciprocal relationship at all three schools. In terms of the K through 12, typically teachers are getting tour slips in order for youth to come visit the farm. I could tell you this week, when I return tomorrow, there's a school from Tampa that has 2 busload of teens coming to the farm to visit. So this is normal. And the teens, people always say, where do you find the teens? They find us, right? Because if you're doing good work, they're going to be talking to each other. And as Jade mentioned, I have several young people that are siblings of teens that we formerly had, which speaks to the work.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you. Senator Burton.
Thank you, Chair. And I apologize for leaving a little bit ago because we have bills to present, so we have to run to other committees. And so I missed the very beginning of your presentation, but I'm going to start with what I've heard since I did walk in. I mean, I know that it is not easy to travel to Tallahassee and be here, but for all of you, including you, ma'am, to stand in front of a committee like us and speak to us. And what I've heard, you've just done an amazing job today. So thank you for that, and congratulations on being so well prepared and doing such a great job. So can you take me back 7 years, because this is and I apologize again to the other members of the committee if you heard this, but I'm really interested in knowing what was the spark, what got this started.
So 2 grocery stores closed in a 4-year span of time. The second closed in 2017. The community began having meetings about, how do we address this? I held a meeting. I owned an art gallery at the time. I left corporate America in 2014 to do what I'd rather be doing, which was really being steeped in the community. To be clear, zero agriculture background. So it was, and honestly, I said no multiple times when the community said we wanted to be you. I said, I don't grow food. I don't have a green thumb. I really thought that was true, that actually existed. I don't watch YouTube videos about how to grow food. The commitment that I made when I was ultimately selected to run this initiative was that it would have credibility if I'm heading it, and that I would allow the voices of youth to be elevated. So, instead of just pushing forward, I would say things like, no, I don't know how to do that. It's okay to say I don't know, and we would learn it together. And so therefore it made the youth feel heard in multiple ways, because instead of saying, no, we're going to farm, we're going to do agriculture, I said, let's go visit farms. Let's see what you actually like. And then you hear things like, could we grow star fruit? I don't see why not. Let's do it. And so we really started with land that would have ordinarily been used to build homes, and just started. And we also kept having this youth-informed, community-informed approach. So if you saw what I was handed in 2019 versus me doing a 2-week debriefing with teens after the first 6 weeks of programming, that's when we uncovered that mental health was something that should be at the forefront. That I personally couldn't, I'm a mother of 2, I could not work with teens knowing that 33% of the teenagers I was working with had been Baker acted. They might be out of school for a week, and I just couldn't do it. So I made clear that the things that we're seeing, the feedback we're getting from teens, that would be a driving force, plus my experience in general. So you see art. So if I said I owned an art gallery, naturally I engaged artists so that what I would say to young people is the vibration of the farm should feel like you. It shouldn't feel like me, right? I'm a 57-year-old woman. I don't want it to feel like me. I want the energy to feel like you. So what we have found is even if teens go off or go someplace, when they come home, the first thing they're running to is the youth farm. I have a teen right now that's abroad in the military, came home, straight to the farm, right? One in the Navy, came home, straight to the farm. So yeah, this Saturday, I spent Saturday shopping for clothes for a former ambassador, right? She hasn't worked at the farm for a few years, but she has to go to court. I want her to look right. So I think I always congratulate the city for doing the job of not focusing solely on the farm, but focusing on the big picture. And I think for that, we're building young people that we'll be proud of to come back to the city and get involved and engaged.
Chair, I'm really glad I asked the question. So thank you. Thank you for that. And congratulations. Thanks.
Thank you very much. Any other comments, discussion, questions? Well, Ms. Bristol, thank you. It was 3 years ago you last presented in front of this committee, and you've certainly grown since then, both in scope and in quality. And I want to thank you, young people, for making the sacrifice to come here. You know, we didn't make it easy to get to Tallahassee, but you've conquered much bigger things in your lives, and we expect so much more of you too. Any final comments?
I just want to say thank you. Thank you for the opportunity.
And I'll say one more thing.
Sure.
Like I said, I did a fashion show last year around April. Just having a space to actually do something like that with someone like Miss Carla pushing you and being like, yeah, you can do that here. Like, you know, and being able to like have an audience, because she already had an Earth Day event set up. So I came along around January and was like, I really want to do this. And she was like, of course, like you can do it here. We would love to do something like that. So it's just something to say that like people can come there still afterwards and come with their passions and what they love to do and then create more just at the youth farm. So.
Thank you.
Thanks again. Thank you.
Does any senator wish to be recorded as voting on bills before the committee today? Is there any other business to come before the committee? Senator Burton moves we adjourn. There being no objections, show the motion adopted. We are adjourned.